Hi folks, Dave, the Honest Audiophile. This is the SoftEars Studio4, and these are my Honest Audiophile impressions. The SoftEars Studio4, this will set you back $450 from your bank account, and it is a IEM that is intended for use in mixing, mastering, and on-stage monitoring, but can it be used in everyday carry type of situations? It has a 4-balanced armature driver configuration, 12 ohms of impedance, 123 decibels sensitivity, and a frequency response range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. The SoftEars Studio4 comes in this very simple box. I love it. It's white, black lettering, and then on the back side you get a little bit more information about designed and made by SoftEars in China, and a bunch of Chinese that I don't know what it says. Taking the sleeve off, you have a white box with SoftEars written on it, and then opening it up, you just have a very simple situation where the case sits on top and the accessories on the bottom. Let's show you those accessories real quick. So the accessories that you get in the box, you get a manual, you get small, medium, and large tips of silicone tips. You get a cleaning cloth. You get a little cleaning tool with the brush and the little pointy thing on the end. You get a 1/4-inch adapter. You get a cable management wrap that says SoftEars on it. And then you get 2 little bags to protect your shells in when you're transporting them. And you get a case with a lanyard if you want to attach. And then you also get an extension cable that has a 3.5 in and a 3.5 out with another cable management wrap. It's about 5-foot cable extension. The case is very nice. It's a waterproof hard plastic design. Nice and lightweight, small, fits in my hand, would easily fit in like cargo pants, pocket, or in a bag, and it's durable enough to kind of take a beating, and the latch holds it in place. This thing's not going to open. As I said, it's waterproof. And then opening it up, you're greeted by a bunch of foam here on the top, like eggshell design, and then the body or bed, excuse me, of the case is very cushiony as well. Very nice case. I like this case a lot. And then you get the Studio4. So the SoftEars Studio4 is a very basic looking IEM. It is nothing special. Black is the only color that you can get, and it's a very universal design. It says Studio4 on the left ear, and it says SoftEars on the right ear. The cable connects with 2-pin. Has very nice ear hooks. I do wish that they had just a little bit more tension, but I'm nitpicking there. Very nice lightweight cable. Connects with a nice split, and then terminates into a 3.5. A little bit of branding on the connection. Overall, very nice cable, nice and lightweight, perfect length for using as a monitor. The design of the shell is nice and small. They're very lightweight. They have a slight wing on them, very slight, and then a nice angle and good length on the nozzle. Overall, very well built. Let's take the nozzle, or excuse me, take these tips off. These are the stock tips that I'm using. And when you look at the nozzle, you can see that they have a unique setup with 3 ports that come out. And no, that's not dirt in them. It actually is the way that the filters are. So the one has a different filter on it than the other 2 ports, which is interesting design and concept. Comfort of the Studio 4 is like SoftEars took a mold of my ears and then sent them out. And it's just crazy how good they fit in my ears. These are one of the most comfortable IEMs I've worn. Very small, they disappear in the ear, and the angle just fits me proper. The wing is just the right amount to hold everything in place, and these things isolate outside noises really, really well. We're probably somewhere into 75 to 80% of outside noises being blocked. You are in your own little world with the Studio 4, and that's a good thing if you're using these on stage. And so these things do an exceptional job of comfort and isolation of outside noises. I can wear these for hours on end with no problems whatsoever. I had no issues listening for a good 6 to 8 hours with the Studio 4 in my ears. Extremely comfortable, and isolating of outside noises, I can't hear a thing. Walking around the neighborhood, it's very hard to hear cars passing by. People talking to me, I definitely have to pause music and take them out of my ears in order to be able to hear things. Loud things like coffee grinders, vacuums and stuff are very dull and very far away. They do a really good job of isolating outside noises. The Studio 4 is extremely easy to drive. There is no problems driving them with any dongle and any desktop setup or any sort of DAP. The Studio 4 is not picky in that regard at all, and things just drive them with ease. You will not have a problem whatsoever. I didn't have any issues with hissing or anything like that on higher output devices either. They are extremely easy to drive and not fuzzy. I did use them also on the Allen and Heath QU24 numerous times as a monitor during our church services, and they worked exceptional for that. I was able to hear everything that was going on in the stage and dissect the whole service and be able to make the adjustments that I needed to in EQs and all that kind of stuff. And it worked very well for that. So if you are thinking about using an IEM as a monitor through a mixing board, the SoftEars Studio 4 definitely works in that regard. Before we get into the sonic impressions of the SoftEars Studio 4, I would like to thank my supporters through Patreon and YouTube memberships. Thank you very much for all that you provide to the channel. It is much appreciated. I know that the times are not easy in the current world financially, so I do appreciate all of the donations and the gifts and the support monthly that you do provide. I know that giving a sacrifice of your personal funds towards the channel to help it to grow and stuff can be a challenge, so I appreciate you doing that. It is much appreciated. All funds that are given to the channel do go back into the channel to help to produce more videos and to bring in gear to review, like the SoftEars Studio 4. Those were purchased with funds that came through supporters. They helped to purchase them. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out the links down below. There's all kinds of ways that you can do it: monthly through Patreon and YouTube memberships, or one-time gifts with PayPal and Venmo. Also, while you're down there, don't forget to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to the video, and check out all the other links of how you can contact channel, follow channel, and all that kind of stuff. All right, so the SoftEars Studio 4. How do they sound? Studio 4 is a very neutral, cohesive, balanced, natural IEM. If you are wanting an IEM for stage monitoring, mixing, and mastering, Studio 4 is going to be a very good option. The bass is very well detailed, and it has a nice amount of impact, good slam, and good authority, but it is not overly expressive. It's not super authoritative and domineering. It's just very detailed and expressive in the way that you would want it on stage. You don't need to have a bass head IEM in your ears while you're trying to play along. You just want something that's going to give you the rhythm, give you the the qualities that you are looking for on stage. And so the bass of the Studio 4 is very well controlled, very detailed, and very well resolved. There, you get a nice texture and very good tone and timbre, and it keeps the toes tapping and keeps you in rhythm and keeps you a smile on your face, but yet at the same time, it's not dominating the rest of the mix. And then the mids. The mids are very natural and organic. They have a fullness to the note weight and a true realism sound to the instruments and to the vocalists without being too forward or too far back. They do a very good job of maintaining balance and staying cohesive with the bass and with the treble. And they have a very good tone and timbre, very natural sounding, very accurate and true. And then the detail retrieval is excellent, and it is very well resolved as well. And it has nice air and space and does a good job with layering. And then the treble is well extended and has nice presence to things. There's good air and space in the treble, and it has just enough sparkle and energy to keep things engaging and keep things natural and accurate without being too forward, too expressive, and also at the same time without being boring. So overall, the bass, the mids, and the treble play very well together, very natural, and are very neutral in their presentation. They don't add in any extra colorization and anything artificial. They are just reproducing it as it should sound in the real world. It's a very natural and realistic sounding IEM. Soundstage of the Studio 4 is accurate. It's not the widest, it's not the narrowest, it's not the smallest, it's not the largest and widest. It's just accurate. It portrays a stage properly. You can see all the way around you that you need to and what's in front of you when you're monitoring, and you can pinpoint it without even having to look up. You can go, okay, that's on the right hand side, that's on stage left, that's on the right hand or the left hand side, that's on stage right, that's in the middle, that's a little bit here, there. Things move around and you can just place things. Also, it has very good depth and it does very well with layering, and so things just play very well. It's very cohesive and very immersive, and it plays everything as it should as you're looking at it. And it does a very good job of giving you a accurate portrayal of the stage. Imaging is very good. Things move across the stage and you can place them. It's very, very pinpoint. It's right there. It's right there. That one's there. That one's behind it. That one's in front of it. That one's moving this way. Detail retrieval is crazy good for the price point, and resolution is really good as well. And tone and timbre is very natural. For an all balanced armature setup, you wouldn't know it. There is not a hint of any of those BA timbre that you get sometimes with some IEMs. It has nothing of that. This sounds very, very true and very natural. And I truly, really do enjoy the sound of the Studio 4. How does it compare to a couple other IEMs? Now, I don't have an IEM in this price point that is really for this type of setting, for stage monitoring and for mixing and mastering. So I'm going to take a little bit of a step back in price. And so we have the Kiwi Ears Orchestra Lite. The Orchestra Lite does have a little bit of that balanced armature timbre. Can be a little bit metallic at times. It also has a little bit lighter of a note weight. It's not quite as impactful in the bass. It does kind of come across a little bit lighter and a little bit thinner. The mids and lower treble are a little bit more elevated, and they can kind of come across in a little bit more forward way. Not aggressively, but they can push things a little bit more forward. It's not quite as balanced and cohesive as the Studio 4. Soundstage is wider on the Orchestra Lite, and it has a little bit more sparkly energy type of sound signature. And then we have the JQ4U Pro. Now the 4U Pro is a little bit warmer, has a little bit more thicker bottom end. The bass has a little bit more impact, a little bit more texture, and just a little bit more to things. A little bit more warm on the lower mid section, and then in the treble area, it's a little bit more laid back. It doesn't quite have as much sparkle and energy, and isn't extended quite as much as the Studio 4. Soundstage on the 4U Pro is a little bit closer, and it has a little bit more of an intimate sound. Overall, I like all three of them, but the Studio 4 is definitely a step up from both of them, and is a rather large step in detail retrieval, resolution, tone and timbre, and also in just overall presentation. It's just a step up from those other two. So I highly recommend the Studio 4 from SoftEars, especially if you're looking for a onstage monitor and for mixing and mastering. But is it good for everyday carry? For me, yeah, because I'm looking for that type of sound, a very neutral and natural sound. But if you're looking for more bass and a little bit more sparkle and a little bit more energy, maybe some more forward mids, you might find that the Studio 4 is a little bit tonally correct, but not really engaging. So make sure you know what you're looking for. If you're looking for a neutral, natural sound and something that can be used as a stage monitor and for mixing and mastering, the SoftEars Studio 4. It's been Dave, the Honest Audiophile. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Speaking of next videos, somewhere on screen, subscription links and notification bells. If you haven't already, please check those off. Don't forget to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to the video, and check out all the links down below. There's all kinds of ways that you can contact channel, follow channel, support channel, all that kind of stuff. And then down below also there's gear rankings and tier lists and music recommendations and all kinds of other things are down there. So check out the links down below. And then lastly, don't forget to enjoy the music, and that honesty is the best policy.